There has been a lot of misconceptions when it comes to Dragon Ball. Some of these misconceptions could stem from people not watching this series in a long time, and they try to say some things based off memory which ends up being false. Or you have the dub-only anime watchers stating facts about the series without even realizing that some of those facts were only dub-only lines. And if you watch the original Japanese version, you would find that those facts are wrong. A big example can be when Raditz says that Planet Vegeta was destroyed 3 years ago, even though Planet Vegeta was actually destroyed decades before that.
You see, 3 years ago, our home planet Vegeta met with an unfortunate accident. You see, 3 years ago, our home planet Vegeta met with an unfortunate accident.
I beg your pardon?
And because of these misconceptions spreading across the community, it has led to people forming some opinions about the series based off those misconceptions. So we're going to be looking through the biggest misconceptions about Dragon Ball, and if you're someone who believes some of these misconceptions, then I hope that this video clears any false opinions you might have had about the series. So starting off, we have the whole misconception about Gohan being the main character, and the reason why Toriyama chose to stick with Goku as the main character later on in the Buu saga was because he was harassed or that he was receiving threats from the fans. This myth has spread through the community for a very long time, and it couldn't be any more false. At the beginning of the Buu saga, yes, Gohan was written to become the main character of the series moving forward after the death of Goku from the Cell games, because this was evident when we see Gohan go to high school and him trying to hide his identity as the Great Saiyaman. Then later on, Goku does take major focus, but not because of the fans, but because Toriyama himself said that he just didn't feel comfortable writing Gohan as the main character. He didn't feel that Gohan was the type of character that could drive the Dragon Ball story like Goku did. And Dragon Ball is a battle shonen with a lot of action, so having a character like Gohan, who prefers to study over fighting, just didn't feel right. He is more of a reactive character, so he only fights when he is reacting to what's happening in the story. Whereas with Goku, he loves to fight more than anyone else, and he actually moves the plot forward, making him more suitable for this certain type of story. It had nothing to do with fan pressure, it was probably just Gohan fans thinking of reasons to why he was no longer the main character. The next misconception is the whole notion that Vegeta always loses to Goku, or that he never surpasses him, even though he is the Prince of Saiyans. People use this argument to explain why they think Vegeta is a fraud, or that he is not a good rival for Goku. But again, if you actually look through the entire series, you would know that this is just not true. When you look at the first fight between Goku and Vegeta, Goku actually lost the fight between them. After the beam clash, Vegeta turns into a great ape, and he was close to killing Goku, but Krillin and Gohan intervened in that fight. Then in the second fight in the Buu saga, Vegeta also won that fight as well. Yeah, Goku was holding back Super Saiyan 3 at the time, but he still lost the fight, and during that point in the story, Toriyama hadn't even fought a Super Saiyan 3 yet. And in the sparring match in the superhero movie, Vegeta wins again, but just barely. In the entire series of Dragon Ball, Goku has never won a fight against Vegeta. And there's times in the series where Vegeta actually surpasses Goku. When Vegeta was first introduced, he was way stronger than Goku, and Goku needed Kaioken to keep up with him. For the majority of the Android and the Cell saga, Vegeta was stronger than Goku. This was stated by Piccolo after Vegeta killed Android 19 in the Super Saiyan form. And then later on, he gets even stronger once he reached Super Saiyan Grade 2, which he used in his fight against second form Cell. It's not until the Cell games where Goku finally surpasses him after coming out of the Room of Spirit and Time. Then going into Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta also surpasses Goku just for a brief moment, after Beerus slapped Bulma. And for the majority of Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta were pretty much equal in strength, and in the Tournament of Power, you could make a case for Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta being stronger than Goku with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. So saying that Vegeta always falls behind Goku, or that he never beats him, is simply wrong. Vegeta would surpass him, then Goku would get ahead of him, then Vegeta will surpass him again, and then Goku will get ahead, and it will just rinse and repeat over and over again. And that's fine. That is how a rivalry should be. Next, we have the misconception about Goku being a bad father and a bad husband. I think this is the biggest misconception in Dragon Ball, and is not even close. The amount of people who still say this in its current age is very mind-blowing, to be honest. Let's just look at the times where Goku has died. What is one thing that they both have in common? They were both sacrifices over Gohan. Goku let Piccolo kill him and Raditz if it meant that Gohan would be protected. And in the Cell games, Goku instant transmission sailed away from Earth so that Gohan and the others wouldn't get caught in the explosion. He didn't die because he wanted to fight strong fighters in the afterlife, which is another misconception I've heard some fans say. But Goku actually stayed dead because he felt responsible for the upcoming threats towards her. And then you have the whole notion about Piccolo being a better father as well, which is just complete nonsense as well, because Piccolo only trained Gohan for 6 months in preparation for the Saiyans. But Goku literally raised Gohan from birth for 4 years, and he spent a whole year with him in the Room of Spirits and Time. And you can't really say that Goku is a bad husband as well, just because he likes to train a lot. Goku and Chi-Chi have never expressed any problems about their marriage once in the series. Even in Dragon Ball Super, Chi-Chi told Goku to get a job, and Goku was actually fine with it, because he can earn money and provide for his family. And actually, when Goku died, Chi-Chi never moved on, and she was still loyal to Goku, even if she thought that he would never come back to life. That just shows how much she loves him. And the reason she probably trained Goten in martial arts, even though she was so against it with Gohan, could be because Goten is a spitting image of Goku. In the Goku Black arc in Dragon Ball Super, when Goku found out that Zamasu killed Chi-Chi and Goten in a separate timeline, he literally attacked them in rage, and Goku was crashing out over Chi-Chi and Goten from a different timeline, not even the main one. So just imagine if this happened to his family in the main timeline. Goku might actually be one of the best fathers in anime if we're just going to keep it real. The next misconception is that Beerus was actually the one who ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta. If this were to be the case, then that would go against the whole premise of the Frieza saga from the original manga and recontextualize the entire plot. A lot of these misconceptions come from the dub lines, where Whis would say that Beerus ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta. But the truth is that when you go to the Dragon Ball Super manga, Beerus merely suggested that Frieza destroy the Saiyans, because he also didn't like the Saiyans, and he was just too lazy to do it himself. So he suggested it to Frieza and gave him permission to destroy the planet. Frieza was already planning on getting rid of the Saiyans anyways, because he was afraid of their latent potential, but Beerus just so happened to dislike the Saiyans as well, so he gave Frieza permission to destroy the planet. Because even when you go to the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which came out after the Super anime, during the flashback of the destruction of the Saiyans, Frieza never brings up the fact that Beerus ordered him to do so. Frieza still had a dislike toward the Saiyans, and he was talking about how he fears that they may form a rebellion once they get stronger. So even if Beerus didn't make a suggestion, it's implied that Frieza would have done so anyways. So this is still consistent with the original plot points from the Frieza saga. It's just that Beerus merely made a suggestion. It wasn't under direct orders that Frieza should destroy the planet. And the final misconception is that Goku was solely to blame for the destruction of the universes in the Tournament of Power, and that he is actually a bad person because of this. This, alongside Goku being a bad father, has to be the dumbest misconceptions when it comes to Dragon Ball. Goku didn't even start the Tournament of Power because it was actually Zeno's idea. After the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament, Zeno appears and says that he wants to start a tournament that will involve all the universes. And of course, Goku would be excited about that because he likes to train and test himself against numerous opponents. Goku made a promise with Zeno, and Goku thought they would just be a fun tournament with no consequences or anything too serious. Goku never once told Zeno to destroy the losers. He was only promised that a tournament involving all the universes would begin soon. People need to remember that Zeno was actually going to destroy the universes anyways, because of how low the mortal level was in most of them. The two Zenos were discussing this with the Grand Priest, and that they were disappointed that most of the universes were not developing well, so they decided to destroy 8 of the 12 universes. However, because Goku reminded Zeno about the Tournament of Power, which was promised since the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament, Zeno gave the universes a fighting chance for survival, and from Universe 7's victory, Android 17 wished for everyone to be brought back. So in the end, all 12 universes were allowed to live happily. Goku in fact saved the multiverse if anything, so I still don't understand why there's still some fans out there that blame Goku. If Goku didn't remind Zeno about the tournament that he was promised, then most of the universes would have been destroyed with no chance for survival.
Am I the only one who did the reading?
And those were the biggest misconceptions in Dragon Ball. There's still a lot more, but I think these were the craziest ones. And I think it's because of these misconceptions that people started this whole trend about Dragon Ball fans not being able to read. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more anime content, please subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video.